Right, let's go ahead and configure our backend to point to this database when it's being deployed. So in here, what we're going to do is the following. We're going to open up IntelliJ, and in here, you see where we have application.properties. So if I open it up, you can see that if I put this full screen, you can see that the data source URL in here points to JDBC, PostgreSQL, and then localhost 5432. So what we want to do is to basically have the same configuration, but change whatever is different from local development, i.e. in my local machine or your local machine, to whatever environment we are deploying. So currently we have an environment in Amazon AWS. So this is our environment. So the database URL is different. So what we're going to do is the following. Let's open up the project tab, and then in here, I'm going to Command C and then Command V. So I'm going to duplicate this file, and then I want to name this as dash and then dev. So dev for development or staging or prod, depending on the environment that you are taking your application to. So here I'm going to say OK. And now we need to change these properties, right? So for local development, this is localhost 5432. The username is Postgres, and then the password is password. But for dev, it's different. So let's go to AWS and find out the URL for our database. So in here, let me just switch to AWS, and then let me go to configuration. And in here, have a look. So you can see in the database section, so if I zoom in, so oops, that's too much. But like this, you can see that the endpoint is this. So let's take all of this and then press Command C and then go back. And here we're just gonna, basically, we can't just remove this, but it has to be this. So the URL in here, right? Just like that. And for now, this will fail, right? Because we don't have a database called Amigos code inside, but we're going to create this in a second. Now for the username in here, so I've named it, have a look, Amigos code. So here, this will be Amigos code. And then the password was password. For DDL auto, make sure that you don't say create drop, because otherwise every time the application restarts, you will lose your data. But as soon as you start moving to environments where there are real users, then you want to be careful deleting your data in your database. So now that we have the configuration set up, next, let me go ahead and show you how to run the application using application.dev properties.